Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days.
It's a joke, you idiot. Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Krasinski, coming to you live from a gorgeous day in Brooklyn. A beautiful day. The candles are not lit, but we're ready to have a good time. With me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, my number two, the man with the plan, the big dog, everybody, Zawodni.
Oh, thank you so much, Dylan. Yes, it is another Wednesday, so we are here with an all-new episode of Troublemakers. Every Wednesday you can catch us. We are full video episodes on YouTube. You can catch the full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Pods, or wherever you stream your favorite podcast. We got clips everywhere, too. Clips, our shorts, YouTube. But if you are on one of those audio apps and you're listening to us there, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review. If you, for any reason, think of leaving us less than 5 stars or your fucking stupid fat finger accidentally slips to 4 stars, delete the app, fucking break your phone in half, and never listen to us again.
Yeah, never listen again.
I didn't mean to get so aggressive.
That was aggressive. You nailed that intro,
dude.
though,
After
last week.
Oh, okay.
You killed it.
Knock it off. You know why? I'm fatter than I was last year, by the way. I was going to wear a different shirt today, and I started walking out the house, and it was just it looked like a garbage bag full of fucking oatmeal, and it was just...
Dude, I think you look great,
It's been a
frankly.
rough day. Well, thank you, dude. I wear a lot of black shirts. But
Me too.
I'm not going to waste any more time talking about my weight problems, because we have a very special guest on the show.
Hot episode.
The one and only, the hilarious Geo Perez, everybody.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. This is a dope setup. I like this. And
Thank
I
you,
love
man.
the sound quality. I love how my voice sounds in this.
It's not bad.
I usually sound like a fucking jerk off. And then hear my voice right now. I love it.
That's great. Dude, you know what? Only the best, dude.
Okay.
Only the best, dude.
We're editing clips of ourselves all the time. You're on a podcast yourself. It's On the Fence, right?
On the gate.
On the gate.
On the
I'm
gate.
sorry about that.
I was going to go with on the fence, but somebody already has that.
Okay.
So I went with on the gate because it's a jail term also. And like it's like the guards use it and also the inmates use it. So like guards will use it. They'll be like, get on the gate. To, like they're gonna open the gate. They're telling you to come out or something. Like if you're locked in, they'll be like, Perez on the gate. That means come to your gate. You got to come out.
Oh.
And also the inmates use it when like let's say everybody's in their cell. They'll be like, yo, Gio, get on the gate because they're gonna talk to you. Because like if you're back in your cell, you won't be able to hear. So the closer you get to the gate, you can yell at each other. For the day
shit.
room.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I'm like, you talk. That's how you talk in jails on the gate.
If the guards usually say it, is it a bad thing?
No, because it's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a great thing. With Perez on the gate, you're going home. You know, like, yeah.
That's not, or you got like a phone call, or you got like someone visiting you.
Yeah, on the video, you got a visit, or you're getting out of your cell. It's always good to get out of your cell.
I would think, yeah, that's shit.
Unless it's time to jerk off, then that's when you want to be locked in. You know what I mean? That's because you know, like
Get
you got
right
like
into it.
you got maybe like 3 hours during the day where you could be in your cell locked away.
Are there rules? We're just jumping right in.
Yeah.
Are there? I'm so curious.
Dude, it's so bad that like the first thing that I was going to ask if we got into being in jail was about jerking off and how often it happens.
Yeah, I mean, are there like rules? Are you not allowed to do it? Are you allowed to do it? Or only
You're
at
not
certain
allowed.
time?
It's
Not
in the
allowed.
rule book. I think I still have the rule book for like the county jail.
Yeah.
And I got to take the picture of like the masturbation rule or whatever. But if you get caught masturbating, let's say it's by like a female guard and she wants to be a dickhead, usually like a rookie, you'll get reported, so you get a new charge. They're gonna beat your ass. So they're gonna handcuff you, beat your ass. You're gonna get put in the box for most of the time that you're in there.
Which is solitary.
Yeah, so you're in 23-1. That's where the name of the show comes
Yeah,
from.
okay.
You only come out for half an hour, and you're in your cell for 23. You have to register as a sex offender now.
Stop.
Yep.
What?
Are you
So now
kidding me?
you got a sex offense. Yeah. So now you're a sex offender. So yeah, you see, you get your ass beat, you go to the box, you get a new charge, and you register as a sex offender.
Jesus.
If you get caught jerking off by the wrong person,
That-
I got caught jerking off by the right people. I got caught by an old black sergeant lady, and she just like, cut that out, and I was like, oh shit! My heart dropped, and then I almost got caught by a young rookie.
And that would have been fucking bad.
That was bad because she was hot, so she would have known that like she would have thought like, oh, he's jerking off because I'm here.
Oh.
It was actually the same policy when I worked in a call center.
Yeah. If a female manager catches you,
she'd be furious.
It is hilarious that we're like, dude, that's crazy. But actually, not jerking off is the rule pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to jerk off. So,
But I think if there's one place you have to jerk off, it's jail.
Jail.
You have to jerk off.
dude, that's actually that's a dumb rule. Because
Yeah.
what's the alternative? Everyone's just like pent up. Everyone's got all this aggression and testosterone,
violent.
ready to fight at like any minute.
I think they just want you to be sneaky about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like as long as we don't see it, we know they're giving us like we're allowed to have like pussy books and shit like that. We're allowed to have
Really?
like Buttmans and Hustlers and all that. Like,
See, that makes no sense to me. Then it's
Well-
like you can't let people have all that stuff and be like, you can't do this. Sorry,
it is an art. You can't censor art.
it's true.
Oh wow! I think I get it though, because I think it's more of it's frowned upon. It's in the rule books, and just be discreet about it. Because if it wasn't in there, people would just be fucking yanking dong all
Yeah.
day, every day.
Yeah.
You'd be trying to eat and shit. Just dudes would be jacking off in the lunchroom. You can't do it.
Yeah, what's that thing? That rules are meant to be stroking. What's that? How's that saying go?
I remember when I worked in the courts. Did you know that I was a prosecutor?
Oh, get the fuck out of here! You're a DA, you
Yeah.
piece of shit. I don't like you anymore, man.
Fucking narc over here.
I did it for.
Are you setting me up?
Yeah,
By the way,
just-
everything I say on this story happened more than 7 years ago.
Yeah, I did it for 5 years in Boston.
Can you ensure me that you don't work for the DA's office?
Yeah, no,
I want you
don't
on recording.
anymore.
Say
I
it
don't.
right now. Say I do not work for the DA's office.
No longer work for the
Say
DA's
I'm not.
office.
I'm not a police officer.
Dude, actually, I can't say that. No,
Abracadabra, B. They're just
Bring
gonna
'em in,
come
bring 'em in,
storming out.
bring 'em in.
They're gonna tackle me.
as they're pulling you out, I'm just like, which one? No, I don't know. No, whatever, dude. But I remember there was this guy. He kept coming in. And it was he kept jerking off in front of Starbucks. Dude, he was just sitting in his car, and like 4 days in a row, he kept getting brought in. And finally, I was like, the judge is like, we can't keep letting him out in the community. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, man.
So what do they? So like after, isn't there like a certain amount of times where it's just like, all right, this is your third offense. We're gonna have to keep you in for a couple months or something.
Yeah, so
Like 3 strikes, you're out.
in Boston, you have, I'm sure it's the same here, but you can get your bail revoked, where it's if you have open cases and you're released, you come in, a new case can trigger a revocation, so then they can take your bail away, and then you're basically held on that first case because you committed a new crime. So like this guy had like 3 or 4 open and gross lewdness, and then finally like the 5th one came in front of, he was like doing it in front of like a lady and her daughter, and the judge, young, female, attractive judge, was like, this is enough.
Yeah.
Fucking, and then sent him to
What's
jail.
the
where he
bail?
could-
What's the bail on that jacking it in front of Starbucks? What was the bail on that?
I don't even
I'm
know.
asking for a friend.
I think it was low. The first one wasn't too bad. I think it was just like stay away from Starbucks. Low, $2.50, something like that.
Was he also buying coffee though?
No,
You know what I
he
mean?
was just
You know
like
how like, you got to be a customer to use the restroom.
Well, he's gotta
It's
put,
you got to be
you know-
a customer to jack off out
in
front.
front of here.
He's got to put the discharge somewhere, so he needs a cup.
Yeah. I didn't ask for cold foam. What is this?
Dude, they're not even making nitro brew yet.
Guy's ahead of his time.
Dude, yeah, that was wild though. I remember
Isn't
that.
it crazy though? Like somebody that is willing to jerk off in front of kids will get a lower bail than somebody who sells drugs to other adults.
It is a good
Consenting adults
Listen,
that are
it is a
trying
good
to have a good
question.
time.
It is a good question. You can make the argument. This guy, he would just park in his car, and he's not hurting
Oh,
anybody.
he wasn't standing outside of the.
Oh no, he would pull his car in, and he would sit in his car.
I mean, the car's a sovereign state. They can't. Whatever goes on in your car goes on in your
I
car.
mean, at this point, it's like your home.
I had a much funnier image in my head.
Yeah.
Of him just standing out the doors.
I thought he was on a bench. And I was like, it's the same bench.
It is weird though. He kept going to Starbucks, like different Starbucks.
Different
It was
Starbucks.
just like that's what he did. That was
okay.
his thing.
All right, so he was like a serial killer, like a serial jerker.
Yeah, that
and
was his
he would
MO.
just go to, he was the Starbucks
different
jerker.
Starbucks jerker.
Starbucks
not even
naked.
supporting independent, locally owned coffee shops.
Yeah, the mom and
Jacking
pops. Yeah, but that's honestly, you would do it. I would rather jerk off in front of corporate
Maybe that's why he was doing it.
Yeah, instead of mom and pops, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
dropping the value of Starbucks.
He was supporting
You know?
small businesses in his own way.
Yeah.
Trying to deter people from going to Starbucks.
Yep.
Oh, well, this guy's kind of a hero.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that would be
disrespectful.
disrespectful. That would be disrespectful just to go to somebody's like family. You know, it's like you only steal from Walmart. You know, you'll
Yeah.
steal from big corporations, but you won't steal from mom and pops. So I was like, I'll jerk in front of fucking
he's
any
like,
Starbucks.
I'm not going to
He's a
jerk.
hero.
I'm
Any
not gonna
Dunkin'
jerk off in
Donuts.
front of Phil's coffee shop because they sell like 3 coffees and a biscuit a day.
Did this happen in Boston?
Yeah, in outside like
In
Massachusetts,
Massachusetts.
yeah.
And not at a Dunkin'?
which is weird. There are way more opportunities.
Yeah.
in front of
Yeah.
Dunkin'. They're
Well, yeah,
everywhere.
that's how you know he's from Boston. He's like, I won't
I'm not gonna
desecrate the
disrespect Boston.
sacred land of Dunkin'.
And they all got drive-throughs. So you
Yeah.
could cruise through and do
Yeah.
a cruise and jerk.
Oh yeah,
And then just finish off right when you get to the window. And be like, just give him the napkin. Be like, no, I'm good. Can you throw this out for me?
Little Boston cream.
No, can you use this cup, this specific cup? Put my coffee in here. Sir,
dude, that
what
was
is
the craziest part. He was like a normal looking guy. That was the
Really?
weird. He was like probably in his 40s or 50s, just a normal looking guy that you would see like at a hardware store, just like a regular dude. And I was just like, so strange.
Regular dudes have needs.
Yeah.
Regular dudes have
Yeah.
fantasies.
When you said 40, I was like, yeah, because like by when you, I think when you're in your 40s, you already have all your kinks by then.
Sure.
I don't think you start getting new ones. I think everything you wanted to do, you've probably done by then, and that was his thing.
Yeah, he's been tugging his cock in front of Starbucks for way longer than you
Could have
guys
been the
taught him.
first place he got a hand job,
Maybe.
And then,
you know,
you know?
maybe.
and
it's
he
a
just
nostalgia
reminisces.
thing.
Yeah,
He's a very visual person.
yeah.
I'm kind of on this dude's side, and I think it's this fucking bitch judge is trying to, you know,
Yeah.
suppress this guy, just trying to experience a little nostalgia.
Yeah, no, because like I lost my virginity in this Filipino's this girl I was dating, her bed.
Oh, wow.
So like I'd like to go back there and have sex on that bed with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like that'd be dope. Like just that house. Be like, yo, can I use your room real quick? I was like, no, I think it was this one on the right.
Do you still have the bed?
Yeah, I don't know if her family still lives there, but I'm like, let me just try.
I lost my virginity watching the movie 8 Mile,
Dude,
and every time it
you
comes
only got
on,
one chance.
Yeah,
I don't remember what I was watching.
it was.
But I remember, I think I like biked there. It was probably like a 5 miles, and I was like out of shape even as a kid. And I got there, and I was just like out of breath. I was like 15 years old, out of breath, and I was like as skinny as I am now.
Yeah.
And it lasted a pump and a half.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, all that.
Same.
I went in, I put it in, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna come." And then I started pulling it out, thinking I could stop it.
Yeah.
But then it was too late, and I said, "Ah, fuck it." I went back in. So it's literally halfway out and right back in.
Well, people made jokes in the movie 8 Mile. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but Eminem has sex with Brittany Murphy, and it lasts like a minute.
I mean, that's because of Hollywood, you know.
For
You don't
sure.
wanna-
But people used to make jokes about it and be like, "Damn, Eminem don't can't last. He's a minute man." And then it happened while I was watching that, and then I saw like, "That's not bad. That's not bad, dude.
But he lasted longer than me, man. He's just like,
Dude,
R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Oh, and
dude, that's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
There's like conspiracies about that. She died out of nowhere, and people think that it had something to do. She was married to like. Have you heard this?
No,
she was
I
married
might
to
have
some like. Hold on, I could also be making this up.
I love
she was
that.
married to like some older guy, and then she just mysteriously died. She kind of was like maybe getting pulled out of Hollywood a little bit by him, and then
Right.
she just died. And people were like, "That's so weird."
Well, I mean, she always looked like she was about to die.
Yeah.
Like she just had that face on where she just had like, overdose face on all the time.
She had,
So
like-
I seen it coming. I really seen it coming.
she had like still crying from the night before.
yeah,
Look,
like she's just
mascara
always
was running.
crying. Like she just like even if she showered, she looked dirty.
Her
Yeah.
character in 8 Mile was just her being herself.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's what like she looks like on the regular when you would see her in like without makeup and stuff.
I used to be so like attracted to her when she did that
too.
movie with Ashton Kutcher, Just Married.
I can't
I
remember. who she
Remember
was.
that movie? Yeah.
She was fat and clueless, right? Or
Yeah, she was a
chubby.
little chunky.
She was a chunky, ugly girl in that
You
one.
know what she looks like? She always looks like she's on the walk of shame.
Yeah,
Like she just got fucking dug out the night before, and
On
she's
coke.
walking.
She's coming down from coke and fucking getting dick down.
Fucking hate that term, dug out, dude.
He hates when I use that.
Dug out.
Dude, he's got
Dug
so
out.
many. You said it. What did you say
It's all
earlier?
baseball terms. Yeah, fucking fucked her out of left field, man. And dug her out.
I would say that's what Ice Cube said in today's was
The
a good
bump
day.
and run. No, what did you say? Yanking it. You said like
Oh, I don't know,
dude. It was
Cranking
another
his-
one. You
cranking
said
his
another
hog.
one, and I was like, dude, he's
Yanking
got
his
so
pecker.
many just terms for sex. What are your rundown? You go dig them out, which is vulgar. As
Painting or
Eddie.
sealing?
Paint or ceiling.
That
Paint
one's
the
a
walls.
fucking.
Paint
Yeah.
the walls is good.
I like make love. That's my favorite one for.
Okay, dude.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Smash was one that kind of like came and went for me.
Yeah.
You smashed, and it was like, we're not really smashing.
Yeah.
You're
And me, yeah.
pounding. You pounded her out.
And I'm definitely not smashing.
Clipped it.
anything,
My favorite
you know?
one and the coolest one that I used to like dudes from the hood, but yo, you clipped that? Yeah, I clipped it. I was like, what?
Oh, that's a good one.
Clipped.
I like that
I
one
was like,
actually.
yeah, I clipped.
That one's good.
I was like, what does that mean? You fuck? Yeah, clipped.
So you grew
Clip
up on. That's gonna be a clip. So you grew up on Long Island.
Yeah, I lived in Long Island since I was 14.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was born and raised in Yonkers, and then we moved to Long Island when I say ninth grade, between 8th and 9th grade.
Damn. Okay.
So I did high school out in Long Island,
Where'd you go to high school?
Longwood High School.
Longwood. Okay. Well,
Longwood.
what kind of high school was that?
Racist one. Very
Really?
racist. It was self-segregated at that time because this was, excuse me, this was 2000 to 2004,
Okay.
and there was like the school. If you look at it from the top, it was like a W, right?
Yeah.
And on each point at the bottom, there was these places called the Commons, and one was called the Black Commons, the other one was called the White Commons.
Are you
Just
serious?
straight up, like, yo, I'm over here by the White Commons, or yo, meet me by the Black Commons. It was called that because all the black people hung out at the Black Commons, obviously, and
Yeah.
then in the White Commons, you had all the white people, the Indians that were like into Yu-Gi-Oh and all that shit, Asian kids, and then we had the Spanish corner because it was only like 12 of us, and it was just like it was almost like prison where like I'd get shit from the Dominican guys. It was a lot of Dominicans.
Yeah.
And then like, a couple Cubans and stuff like that, Colombian. And they'll talk shit like, yo, why you hanging out with the black dudes? Why you hanging out with them? And then the black dudes would be like, yo, what's up with all those Puerto Ricans? It was like no Puerto Ricans there, but they just it's like either they didn't know or they were just doing it to piss them off. And it was just like really like a lot of the school fights was almost like a race. And then
Shit.
most of the black dudes were blood. So like a few of the Dominican guys became Crip, but they were like Afro Latino. So like when I first met them, I thought they were black,
Okay.
and like they tried to get all the other Spanish guys and other people to join, like be in the Crips and shit. And like that was at the time when like Dipset and like Dipset was big, so everybody wanted to be a blood now. Like this is even way before Lil Wayne. This is like when Jim Jones and Cameron were wearing the red flags.
Yeah.
And then like out of nowhere, like my high school just turned blood.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I went to St. Anthony's, and it was also
Gang. A lot of
a
gangs.
lot of gangs.
a lot of bloods.
No, I was gonna say, not that it was segregated, but it was kind of self-segregated when you think. Like I'm thinking about the cafeteria. Athletes would hang out together, and then people obviously would mix and stuff. But like when people just hung out, I remember like it was like all the white kids hung out together, all the Asian kids hung out together, all the black kids hung out together, and like it was just
Yeah, that's
and
how prison
then
is.
people would mix and stuff. But like it is wild how that happened. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, my school was 50-50 black and white because I lived in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have many Asians or Hispanics, but it was definitely like
they're too smart to move there.
yeah.
Yeah, the real jobs are in Philly.
Yeah, exactly.
But they that's how it is in prison. It's probably even
Well,
worse there.
jail, prison, same,
Yeah.
like the same thing. In prison, it's like you can get hurt, like if you're mixing it up too much. If you're hanging out with you stay with your people, you stay with your crew. If you're like even if you're, I know there's like Puerto Rican bloods, there's some Dominican bloods, but like amongst themselves, like we ride with you, but sometimes like they won't get respected by people in their own gang because they're like, you're not black.
Okay.
Like you should be over there with your Latin Kings or Trinitarios, whatever. Like even though you're in the gang, it's still a race thing at the end of the day. Yeah. Well, I've known like Puerto Rican bloods that got either got cut from other blood members.
Really?
They just didn't like that. Like a Hispanic was in their gang.
God damn,
Yeah.
dude. So
Same
what
thing
you're
with
telling
Latin
me
Kings.
is
there's white people who are in Latin Kings. I've known Asian people that like not in it, but they like were with them, and they were like they'll put in work with them, but at the end of the day, they never really respected them as a member.
It's kind of like Robert De Niro in Goodfellas, Irish, because he was Irish, so he wasn't fully made, but he was, he was part of the crew.
Part of the crew.
Yeah,
he's like you could never be a made man, basically.
God damn.
Being a Puerto Rican or being a non-Spanish in a Spanish gang, like you could do it.
Damn.
Did you do like multiple bids in jail or just?
Yeah, it was a total 4 years in and out of county.
Okay,
and then the longest one I had to do back-to-back county years, so it was just 2 years in county basically. Yeah, that was the last one.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, I was trying to go upstate. I was trying to go to prison. I was like, yo, send me to prison for a year, than me be fucking 2 years in this shithole.
Yeah.
Because there's no movement. The food sucks. At least in prison, it'll go by a little quicker. And all I would have to deal with was like a year parole afterwards, which I was like, I had a kid at the time. I was like, I could behave for a year.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the judge was like, nope. Like, you fucked up way too many times. And like, we're not going to give you that. What
did you go in for?
The first one, the last two is a gun charge and then an assault with a deadly weapon. But that was, I got into an argument with a bouncer. I threw a snowball, and it hit a mirror, and the broken glass cut him. So
that's
they first
bullshit.
Said when the cops came, they said that I threw a bottle at him first. So they arrested me for that. And then when I went to the precinct, they're like, "Oh, they said you hit him with a block of ice." A brick. They said you hit him with a brick. Changed to a brick. And then on like the statements, it said a block of ice with rocks in it. Oh. And then they actually had the picture of it. It was like a big snowball like that. And it was on a paper plate with a ruler under it to show the size.
I love that they're like, we got to get a picture.
We got to show the size of this thing. I was like, it's probably probably the size of 2 softballs together.
You must have had some fucking heat on that though.
Ah, dude, yeah. I'm surprised it didn't melt the way I fucking. I was drunk. I just chucked it at him, and it didn't even hit him. Oh. But since I had like a pretty lengthy record at that point, it's like almost like 15 years of getting like arrested. I had like 20 arrests by then. Damn. So they were just like, oh, this kid's a fucking fuck up. And I had the open gun charge. So they were just like, you obviously didn't learn. Yeah, you obviously didn't learn your lesson. Damn. So he was just like, all right, take this 2 years, one after the other, or, we'll send you to do a 2 to 4 upstate. Where I'm like, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah. You pled, or did you take it to trial?
I did no. I tried to take it to trial. That's why I sat for almost like 12 months. Like, no, I just kept telling him I'm not doing it. And then at the end, my lawyer's like, yeah, I got you the deal. But as soon as I get to court, he kind of like, did it almost like the bait and switch. Where they had my lawyer. My lawyer fucked me. Yeah, my lawyer fucked me bad.
That's so shady, dude.
Yeah.
That's very shady.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse because now they have all the sentencing papers ready. He tells me he's like, yeah, a 1 and 1. And I thought like a 1 year and then 1 year parole. But he was like, no, 1 and 1. You do 1 year and then you do another year back in county. I was like,
yeah,
that's 2, bro.
Yeah. And then I was like, no, I'm not taking it. Let's take it to trial. He's like, well, they got all the sentencing stuff ready. I told him that you were ready. So if you pull back now, he might take that offer back and you do more time. And I was like, fuck.
Dude, that's bullshit, man. And I'll tell you this. The smartest thing, and I'll tell anybody this, working in the courts, most defense attorneys, and I'll get shit for this, but most defense attorneys are scared to go to trial. They don't want it. There are a lot of really good ones, but there are a lot of really bad fucking defense attorneys. Yeah. Horrible ones. Yeah. The best defense attorneys are former prosecutors because you're in court every single day, all day. And I've seen it, dude. A lot of defense attorneys see you in court every day. They go to court maybe once a month. Some of the guys are in there all the time, but they never take shit to trial. Yeah. So the amount of times that I'm like, they're like stressing over a trial for like a drunk driving. And I'm like, dude, I did 3 drunk driving trials last week. What are we talking about? Yeah. And they're like frazzled and shit. Because
they don't want to do more work.
You feel bad, dude. You feel bad. They're like legit scared. Like, so you got to go.
I had shitty lawyers. I had a shitty lawyer, but like I've had great lawyers before. Yeah. But at that time, I couldn't afford it. I wasn't selling drugs no more.
See, that's
so I didn't
crazy.
have money to buy like to pay for a good lawyer. Like I had, you guys remember that Amy Fisher story? Joey Buttafuoco, you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I had Ira Weissman Ira Weissman and Eric Nyberg. Eric Nyberg was her defense attorney at first, and then he ended up fucking around with her, sleeping with her. So he couldn't defend her anymore, conflict of interest.
that's
but
hilarious.
that like this guy's been around for years, and he was a beast. When my mom met him one of the first times, she was like, I don't like him. He reminds me of the devil. He smelled like sulfur. Like, she's telling me all this shit.
That's who you want.
And I'm like, is my mom anti-Semitic? Like, but like, yeah. So this time I had just some shitty guy that my mom met outside of my arraignment and gave her a card. And he's like, yeah, she's like, this guy's cheap. She's like, I can't afford your lawyer. I'm getting this guy. So I was like, all right. And then after I signed all the sentencing papers and like an order of protection against a bouncer who's like fucking built like Steve Wilkos, looked like Steve Wilkos, fucking
hell yeah.
6'5", bald-headed, fucking jacked old dude.
What a deep cut. Dude.
Yeah. And I have this order of protection, 5-year order of protection. And after I sign everything and everything's all good to go and they're about to take me away, the judge calls my lawyer, the DA, and his secretary over to the bench. And he says something to them. And then they come back to me and then the secretary in front of my lawyer and the DA and goes, hey, the judge just realized while he was filling out the order of protection that he knows the victim. But it didn't change. It didn't. He just found out, so it didn't change anything from your case. And I remember like, and he was looking at me while she's telling me this, and I'm looking at him in his eyes, and he's just like this. And I was like, you piece of shit. Like,
Suck
that's
my
why.
dick, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
Yeah,
And
dude.
a
His
part of
attorney,
me-
a good attorney would have been like,
That's why I knew my lawyer was a piece of
I
shit.
understand that
Yeah.
you're saying that. However, I just, in the abundance of caution, I think it's more appropriate to send it to another judge.
Yeah.
At least put that on the record, so then you have something
Yeah.
to appeal if he refuses it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dumb ass, I was just like, all right, I'm going home in 4 months. And like, my whole family's behind me. But after, like, because I was like in shock. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And after I was like, I should have had like the end of Dead Presidents moment where I'm fucking cursing him out, throwing a chair, like, you piece of shit. You should have, like, I should have said it on the record that like, how are you gonna say this now after all these months?
That's crazy.
But I stayed quiet, and then it just like, at that time, like now, I mean, I really don't care because it's not affecting me.
Yeah.
Like that. Like the worst thing is like I can't go to Canada. You know what I mean? That's who gives a fuck about
Who wants
that.
to go there,
Who
dude?
cares about JFL? Fuck that. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But like,
Dude, you don't have to apologize. You can't go anyway.
yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2 years. I think in
can't go
2
to
years.
Canada. I can't go to Canada.
Why?
The DUI.
Oh no, but I think you have a better chance of getting in if because there's ways. Because I know my friend had a drug sale and he got in.
Oh, really?
But yeah, he had to like get letters and write the consulate and all that shit.
Yeah,
He had
that's
to
the
do
only
all
reason I won't do JFL.
Yeah, it's like too much work. Yeah, it's like too much work. Yeah, I'm gonna wait though because it's been. Let me see. I got arrested 2015. So in 2 more years, it's 10 years since I've got arrested for anything.
Yeah.
And got in trouble. Not
That's
gonna
really
work.
good, dude. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. I'm at 8.
That's
I'm almost
fucking
at
great,
8.
man. That's great.
I'm at 8. So 2 more years, I can go and get those felonies expunged, where they just kind of knock them off your record.
Yeah.
I have a shitty question, Gio. Is there
There's no such thing.
is there any part of being there that was like enjoyable?
Yeah, but some of the funniest people I've ever met in
Yeah.
my life was in
Really?
that fucking in jail. And the whole like I don't know what it is. I just think your brain is in such a negative spot that like everybody's defense is to be like try to be funny.
Yeah.
And then I always gravitated to the funniest people. Like if there was, and they were old black dudes who had like 3 teeth, and they were the funniest fucking people in the world.
That's good, dude.
Well, that's,
And Puerto Ricans that like were probably ex heroin addicts and closeted gay bisexuals and shit. But those guys were fucking hilarious.
Dude, you know what it is? I think, people who have like gone through shit are often the funniest people.
yeah.
It's true. It really is true.
And those people aren't going to be like guarded with their crazy stories. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or the crazy shit that they're going to talk about because it's like, fuck it, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the most like charismatic people I've ever met was in jail. And so you got criminals. Like a lot of these people, like, since a little kid, like they didn't have much, so they had to survive off their personality.
Yeah.
Like you could tell, like there's guys in there, like they're very lovable, but you could tell they're using that to get stuff from people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Dude,
almost
yeah.
like a necessity
Fat
for them.
kids and criminals are
Yeah.
both great personalities.
Yeah, like they want to be your friend because they know they got something.
True.
You got something that they want, and then like, and you think, oh, like this guy likes me. This guy's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this guy's fucking running game on me.
Dude, I would
game.
I would
I don't
be
trust-
so
that's like-
bad in jail, dude.
That's why I
would
don't trust
be,
people, man. I have so much trust issues. Man, what the fuck is your angle, man?
I would be like, oh, dude, I would be like, yeah, dude, these are my friends. I'd be like telling my mom, like, I got friends in here. She'd be like, but I also need you to put a few more $100 into my commissary.
My friends need help.
He's just such a good guy. He's gone through so much.
You should hear the story. He has 4 kids. He can't feed them. You know, he says he's sending the kids the money.
But every time I see him, he's got more and more snacks. I don't get it. Dude,
he never
so
even
bad.
shares them with me, man. That's how much of a good friend he is. He doesn't want me to get fat, so he makes sure he eats all my desserts.
Cares about my health.
Cares about my health,
Good
Mom.
guy.
Dude, was there anybody in jail that you saw and you were like legit scared of? Like, oh fuck, this is a guy that everybody should stay away from. Like anybody who was just like crazy.
Yeah, there was always a few of those, and thank God they kept those guys cuffed and shackled. Because there was one dude, and I remember, I don't know why, but like I was already sentenced, and I got called last minute for like another charge. So I'm like, I wasn't expecting to go to court. Like when they called me to the main thing. So now it's like middle of winter time, and I don't have like my long johns on, like my thermals, or any sweater. Like I'm just there with like my fucking like a shirt like this basically, but like it looks like the scrub uniform.
Yeah.
And I'm in this fucking cold ass cell, so I'm just like sitting there like shivering, and this big fucking black dude just jacked with like 2 fucking pigtail braids, 2 French braids. And then I just remember like he just tapped the guy next to him. He goes like this. He's like, and he points at me. He's like, "Ooh." I'm scared, and I was just like, in my mind, I was like, no, I'm cold. I'm not, but like at that point, I was like, what the fuck do I say? I'm like, I'm not pussy, and they're like, oh, you sure about that? We could change that.
I'm actually really chilly in here, motherfucker. Huh? It's nippy, okay?
And then at like more and more, like, cause this is like we're going to court. Everybody there is in jail. It's not the people coming in off the street. I'm there with the people that are the actual criminals now.
So you got to go back with them.
Yeah.
Too.
And like these are the guys that are in for like mostly serious shit. You know, like they don't mix us up. They don't be like, oh, we put the killers here. It's like, no, everybody's going to court. They all mix us up the same. And
tough.
then they start telling stories. Like you can tell they're all in gangs. And he's like telling stories. And he's like talking about home invasions where he like ran in and pistol whipped people.
Oh my God.
Like, cause like the guy it was just insane. I was like, yeah, thank God I didn't say anything to this guy. Cause like he doesn't even need like, no, I think, they said he did a home invasion with no gun. He just beat the shit. He knocked on the guy's door and then just beat the shit out of him and walked in.
Jesus.
Dude, that is insane. That's scarier than with a gun, I think.
Yeah.
And this guy's like three of me, like next to each other, all muscle, like can't even put his arms down. Like
Holy shit.
I think that was probably like one of the scariest times. Like I didn't even do shit. Like I'm just here cold, man. Like I'm anemic.
I am scared. Thank you.
I'm scared. I just have an iron deficiency, man. Like,
Did you ever fight in jail?
oh, a lot. A lot.
Is that something you just like have to do? Does everybody kind of have to?
Yeah, I mean, it was more when I was younger. Like I think when I was locked up from like 16 to 19, I got into more fights than from like 19 to 30.
Was that in juvie or was that in?
Well, it's the same county jail, but then they just put all us in one dorm.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just like you're locked up like the adults, but you're just with people
Shit.
your age.
That's crazy. In Massachusetts, when juvie is more, it's like a separate building, and it's more like living in. You go to DYS, with this Department of Youth Services.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
have
like,
that out here.
You
DYS.
live in like it's like a college dorm basically.
Yeah.
It's not like jail. So that's nuts, dude.
Yeah, most of those people, because I think for them to get juvie, it's like 15 and under.
Yeah.
Then they go to the juvies and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then some of them, like 16, 17, like depending on the charge, you know, because some of them go to state prisons. Like I was locked up with, like I remember the first time I got locked up, the first time I went into jail, I was locked up with this guy named C Murder. He was like my age. I'm 16. He's 16. He's in there for double homicide.
Holy shit!
And he's not even denying it either. Like,
Did he tell you what he did?
It was a robbery gone wrong.
Fuck.
And he was telling me like one time, and his eyes were always bloodshot red. That's what I remember him. He was like a short, cut up dude, and he had like those box braids.
Yeah.
And he was mad cool. I got cool with him. Like after like the second day I was in there. The first day, the whole dorm surrounded me. Like, and I was just like scared to death. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? There's 20 kids. And some of them look like grown men. And they were just like, one of them grabs my bag. They're going through my bag. I go to stand up. One of them pushes me back down on the bed. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It was just like the scariest shit ever.
God damn.
But then I ended up becoming cool with him. And he's like telling me the story about it. And he said like one, he shot in his back. And then the other guy, like he shot the first guy in his face, like shot him face to face. And the other guy was running and shot him in the back. And he says he never forgets like the guy's face that when he shot face to face. And when he told me that shit, I was just like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Like we can't even vote. Like we can't even go to the army. He can't even kill anybody legally. And he already got like 2 bodies.
Did he
Oh
did he
my
say
God.
like remorseful that he would never forget the guy's face? Or was
Yeah,
he,
you could tell like there was like he fucked up. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't happy about it. Like he was just
Okay.
like dazed off looking, like telling me the story and shit. But like I feel like if I was telling that, I'd be crying. He was just like, yeah, man, the first one, yeah, I shot him right in the chest, and the next one he was running, I had to catch him right in the back. And I was like,
He should
Oh
stop
my
going by C murder.
I was like, yo, you
A
want
dead
you
giveaway.
I was like, you want my coffee cake?
Here, take 2.
I got my mom's.
Every week she sends me a
Protect
little
me.
bit more.
What were you there for that first time? Do you remember?
I stole a car.
Stole a car.
Yeah, I stole a car. I was drunk, and
Were you
the keys were in it.
16?
Yeah, I was 16. I was drunk, and I was trying to get to this hotel party, which wasn't really a party. It was just 3 of my older friends that sold crack, and they had girls hanging out at some hotel while they sold drugs out of it. And I was like, yo, let me go hang out with them.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me go into cars and see if I can find, because people leave money in their car. So I would just open cars, like not break into them, just open them, and I'd find money. And I was like, I find enough for a taxi. But I went into this one work van, and the keys were in it. So I'm like, fucking
I mean,
even
listen,
better.
dude, you can't even blame
Yeah,
them.
I already had like found like $8 already from like the other cars before, and I just threw my bike in there, and I'm driving, and I'm like tipsy at this point. I'm 16 years old, tipsy. I don't even have a license, and I'm drinking and driving, and I go to make a U-turn because I made I missed a turn, and while I was making the U-turn, I realized that there was no brakes. Like the brakes were almost done. And there was like 2 ladders stacked on top, and the back was like filled with power tools that I was gonna sell the next day.
Yeah.
I was just gonna sell.
Oh
I was gonna find some
God,
crackhead and
dude.
be like, "Yo, what? Help me with this." And I just heard everything in the back slide from one side of the van, and then slide to the next, and I just felt myself going sideways, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And my bike that was in the passenger side fell on top of me, and like those red old tool boxes,
Yeah.
like that fell on top of me, and the bike. And for some reason, like I just walked out without scratch. I was like a little banged up. And now I'm on the side, and this guy, like all these cars stop. And I'm like, fuck, I got to get out. But I can't crawl to the back door because all those tools are
Yeah.
like laying on the
Blocking you.
side. And I can't climb up because the door's too heavy to push up. So finally this guy jumps on top, pulls me out. And instead of me running, right, and like just getting off and getting the fuck out of there, I was like, yo, help me get my bike. Yo, my bike is in there. That was like a red flag right there. Yeah. So he gets the bike, I throw it down, I get off, and then this guy that was like that lived in front of where I crashed runs out, and he sees me about to ride off, and he grabs me like, hey, where you going? Because I look like I'm probably like 12 at the time.
Yeah.
And he holds me there, and I'm just like bullshit, and I was just like, nah, like lied the whole time, even when the cops came. I lied about having a license. I lied about whose car it was. I was like, oh, I'm borrowing my cousin's car. He's in construction. Yeah. And then everything they're finding out is all bullshit, and they finally just put me in handcuffs.
God damn, dude.
I got grand larceny, and then unauthorized. No, I think I got unauthorized use of a vehicle, and then it got reduced to something else. I forget.
God damn.
You know what though? Your intentions aren't like, I don't know, like you were just trying to go to a party.
Yeah.
You're just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, the stealing was
being
just
a
the
kid.
after. That was just
Yeah.
a little collateral
And also
damage.
sell this guy's entire life of tools. But,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I'm
other
pretty
than
sure he's
that-
insured. He's got
Sure,
a company.
yeah,
He'll be
yeah.
all right. He get all new tools and shit.
My dad
I was
used to
doing him a
steal and
favor.
sell tools all the time, dude. You kidding
Yeah.
me? The thing is though, is that like you're now in the place with C. I
C
don't want to say
murder.
his name again because I fucking
Shout out to
probably-
Clarence. No, I don't even know if that's his name. Imagine.
Clarence lives at home with both parents.
I said it like
married?
there's got to be multiple C murders, you know.
Probably.
But he's there because he fucking smoke two dudes, and you're there because you were like, man, I was just trying to go fucking to a party and get some chicks and smoke some crack.
Yeah, I was just trying to smoke crack and, finger a crackhead, What any 16-year-old from Long Island wants to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
So you used to sell drugs too?
Yeah, by then I was already like selling drugs, like just selling weed and shit like that. But it wasn't much. I wasn't moving much. And then I think about like I think after I got out of jail that time, I was just like, one of my friends had a weed plug. This Cuban dude who was a closeted homosexual. He was Cuban. Hold on. He worked, he had a bunch of money. He wouldn't tell anybody where he got the money from. All he would say was he worked for a guy for 15 years. And when he retired, he gave him all this money in a house. And he also told me he was locked up for 5 years in a German jail, and that's why he had a swastika tattooed on his bicep, right? And this guy was getting weed from Canada, and I got plugged in with him because he thought I was breaking into his house one time or breaking into his cars, and then he found out it wasn't me, and then I think his friend was like told me to talk to him because of that, and I went and smoothed it over, and then from that he offered me a job to sell weed for him. Shit. So I was like 16, and I was making probably like $1,500 a week selling weed for this guy, and I'm still in high school. And I mean, it's just like 30 pounds of weed, and it's not like every day. It all came in on a Thursday, and it was done by that night. And if there was maybe like 2 pounds left, I'll sell it like the next day. All 30 pounds would go that day. And like this is when I seen like some of the coolest shit, like cars with hydraulic stash box, and
dude,
that's the coolest shit ever, man. Like it was James Bond type shit, where it's just like this Crown Victoria will pull into the backyard, and you would have to like put the radio station on like 93.6.
Yeah,
there's a button under the rear view mirror. You have to put the hazards on and the defrosters on. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it like rigs the window button to move, and as soon as you hit that button, you just hear zzz, and the back seat just falls forward, and then there's 30 pounds that are compressed. And the way they would do it was they'll bag it, put it in what's it called, those vacuum seal bags, and then put it in another vacuum seal bag, dip it in car oil, right? Like the pasty one, smell. Yeah. And then saran wrap it. So I just have like these big black pillow bricks, and they'll just be compressed like 30 pounds, like this big, stacked all on top of each other. And then I take them out, throw them in the shed, count them all, and then just text everybody. And this is back when I had the Nextel i730, the chirps. Oh, so I just chirp, hit everybody, yo, we in, and then they'll just come in one by one and set it up. Oh my God. I'm like 16, just fucking, and I mean, obviously, I was getting jerked like $1,500 to sell 30 pounds. And when I did the math of what he was paying and what he was selling them for, I was like, yeah, I'm getting jerked. Because I'm like counting. How much do
you think he was making?
Oh, definitely 5 figures.
Holy shit.
I think if I did the math, it might be more.
A week?
30 pounds, right? And he told me that we're selling them for between 27.5, like 2,700 to about 3,000. Some people were paying 3,100 for a pound.
Wow.
And I remember one time he was just like bragging. He's like, yeah, I could sell them for 2,000 a pound and still make money. I could sell them for 1,500 a pound and still make money. Because he was just getting them. He was buying like up a whole field in Canada, like at one time, and then they'll just send it down in 30-pound blocks.
This is the Cuban dude with the swastika.
The Cuban dude with the swastika.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude. And he ended up getting pulled over one time, and he had $60,000 in cash, which is like common. Like the most money I've ever seen in cash was with him, and I used to count most of his money. Yeah. And like he had me like organize it in a certain way. Like it all had to be face up, big bills up top. Each should be 1,000, and then like has to be the face out. And then when you stack each 1,000, all the faces have to be lined up. And then I have to put them in like 10,000 stacks, and then vacuum seal all this money. So like in a day, I'll have to like count almost like 100,000 sometimes, and then like preparate it, vacuum seal it, and then give it to him. Dude. And then he'll just take it to some house and then like where he stashed it. And he got pulled over with 60,000 once, and he knew it was going to set something off, so he hit up his boyfriend, who he said was his brother at the time. And
Those brothers are really close.
yeah, I was just like, why does he have a Puerto Rican flag on his bathrobe and he
Yeah.
has a Cuban one?
Why is your brother sitting on your lap?
Why is there only one master bedroom in this house? I think that gave it away. Once I realized once they started letting me inside the house and
We're
I realized there was
roommates.
one master bedroom, I was like, oh, I get it now. And then I think he finally was just like admitted it after he came home from that Fed thing. He's like, yeah, you realize what me and Carmelo are, right? Yeah. I'm not judging, man. Just keep
He got
So he got popped for that, and then we went in the house and took out like every fucking gun that he had. This guy used to have like military grade guns, like shit that you would see in like Grand Theft Auto. Like he had an M16, a fully automatic M16 that went off in the house one time when the cleaning lady was vacuuming, and she hit the back of it, and it shot, and it left a hole, like it bounced around the room. So like it hit the heater. You saw it like where it ricocheted around the room, and it ended up hitting the fucking air conditioner. Like,
God
that's where it
damn,
stopped.
dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude, one of the craziest things I ever saw, I remember this was like super, it must have been super hush hush, feds. It was very weird, but these dudes got arrested. It was 4 of them in a car, and they had $1 million in the trunk. $1 million. And it was definitely one of those not included in the report type things, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like the feds bought from them.
Yeah.
But that's how crazy you can get when you're bringing stuff across borders and everything, because Massachusetts, you just run straight from Canada to New York, basically. So, yeah, dude, I remember that. $1 million in the trunk.
Dude, I'm nervous walking around with like $300 in my wallet. You know, I'm like, fuck, I better not lose. This is like all my money.
That's what I have now, and I'm nervous. I remember I think I had like spot pay from like the week before, and I remember like panicking, looking for my wallet. I'm like, oh, I can't lose that right now. I'm looking at my bank. I was like, I need to deposit that soon. Like I need to put that in my bank.
Dude, my fucking wallet got stolen 2 weeks ago.
Oh, dude, that's why I got the
It was a
AirTag on
nightmare.
mine.
Really?
I mean, if they steal it, they can knock. They can throw the shit out.
Still
But
smart, though.
If I misplace it, I know I have a chance to get to it.
I like that.
anything, yeah.
If I had an AirTag, because I thought it was maybe the dude next. I put it on the bar. I've told this story before, but I put it on the bar. I turned around, and I turned back around after buying this drink, and I pick up my bag, and I'm like, where the fuck did my wallet go? I realized I put it on top of my bag instead of in it. So I asked the guy next. I'm looking on the ground. I'm looking around me, and I asked the guy next to me. I go, hey, man, did you guys, did any of you see a wallet sitting right here? And the guy was like, I didn't see your fucking wallet. And I was like, that was super sketchy, man. I was like, are you sure you didn't see it? And then, I got a little angry. I was pretty drunk. And I
Did
was
you end up
like,
finding it?
No, it's gone. I went outside, canceled it. Dude, I said, all he did, no cash in it. I lost $50 to Barnes & Noble, and I had homework
That
to
sucks,
do
though.
for a week. I
You're
had to
probably
cancel
looking
all my
forward to
cards.
buying like a good book.
Yeah, dude, I was saving
tough.
it, man.
I'm losing one of my bills. If I lose my wallet right now, I'm like, no, that's my insurance right there.
Yeah, dude. It sucked.
Yeah. And the crazy thing too, like about the Cuban dude, right? At that time, I didn't even have a license, and he let me drive his bulletproof Beamer S50 that he had, S500, S550 that he bought off a retired judge, and like the windows were like this thick, and it was like 2 panes of glass, and one was tinted, and one was just like regular piece of glass. And like the doors were like fucking that thick.
Damn.
Like when you stopped, it felt like you were stopping like a
like a
Cadillac.
tank.
Yeah, it felt like you were stopping, like you were driving a truck when you would stop that
Jesus.
shit.
This fucking guy was ready for war.
Yeah,
Dude, that's crazy.
he gave me a foldable 9mm Ruger that like I broke one of the sight things because I didn't know how to unfold it, and I started pushing the thing back instead of lifting it up, and I snapped it off. And yeah, and it was a fucking, like I said, it was like a nice gun.
Yeah.
It was really, and he had really nice guns, pistols and shit, like shit that cops have.
God damn.
This Nazi really trusted you.
Dude, a Cuban Nazi. He was the man though. He really did trust me. But I was like, at that age, I was already thinking like, oh, I'm a grown man. Like I was always, since like 12, 13, I was like, I always thought I was older than I was, even though I looked like a little fucking midget. Like I always looked younger.
You look really young.
Yeah.
Still.
Like, I mean, I'm 36. I'm about to be 37. So imagine how I looked when I was 16. So I looked like this little ass boy just selling pounds of weed. And then at one point, like, that's why he gave me the gun, because he's like realizing all these people I'm selling to might get an idea. Like, oh yeah, we could fucking rob this guy.
Yeah.
And then I remember like the way I just handled myself. Like one time, I think I had to get out the shed, and to get something, and like I said, I had weed in there, and I had that guy's money, and I think I had to go inside to get something. So I'm like telling him, I was like, "Yo, wait outside the shed." He's like, "Oh, I'm not leaving the money in," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not leaving you in here with the weed." And this guy's like probably like 15 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy's in his 30s.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to argue with him. He's trying to argue with me. I'm like, nah, listen, wait outside. If you want to take your money, grab all your money and take it, but you're not sitting in the shed while I go inside.
Yeah.
And then he, like at first, like he was just like, all right. But like it bothered him that like the 16-year-old is like telling him like, I'm not arguing with you. Stay outside the shed.
Oh.
You know? And it's just in my head. I'm like, I'm not going to leave you here with fucking 20 other pounds of weed.
Did you ever get robbed?
No, thank God. No.
You were
That's
a
pretty
smarter businessman when you were 16 than I am now at 33.
Dude, but I got dumber throughout the years. I think like when I started doing opiates, I like fucked my brain up because now I just suck. I'm like terrible at business.
Yeah.
I just use that like work ethic to like do like get stage time. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be more creative than like I care more about like the art than the money of this shit.
Well, that's good.
Like not to sound gay.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I do too. That's why I'm so fucking broke.
Me too.
Yeah. Like I wish I was one of these people that like want to brand themselves before they even have like a solid 20 minutes. Like like you don't even have a solid feature act and you're just like, you know, you're talking like you're fucking Dan Soder on the road or even Shane Gillis. Like
20,000 Instagram followers being like, all right. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I got extra. I'm gonna cancel my Netflix subscription and get this blue check. You know what I mean? I'm gonna really invest in myself. It's just like, or like, you know, people start a podcast like 4 episodes in. I'm like, what are we gonna call our fans? I was like, stop trying to be like established podcast people. Just fucking go in there, just talk shit, have fun, and it'll all come.
Yeah. That's what we do, you know?
Yeah.
The idea is just putting forth something that you have a lot of faith in and just putting all the energy into that, and hopefully it fucking hits. And if it doesn't, at least there's something sitting there that you're fucking proud of, and you're not just like you see those people that are like laying on their couch and like, what's up, Instagram? What's up, world? Hey, the name,
dude. My favorite is when it's like one person is watching. I love clicking in to see how many are watching, and it's like one person is watching this, and I'm like, oh, that's me, and I leave.
They don't have 10 minutes, but they have 3 merch ideas.
Dude, I get so nervous. Certain
merch,
people,
they naming the fans. They got the merch idea. It's just like, man.
Naming the fans is hilarious.
It's crazy. Dude, you know, I just thought of this. One of the coolest stories I ever heard about hides in cars was the
stashes.
The stashes. So there was huge. This guy it was when I worked at the DA's office. This guy got picked up. It was like pounds of heroin, like a ton. He was going for years to stay in prison.
Charge. Yeah, that's
so the case gets put on for trial, right? And they're trying to figure out the hide because what they can do, they can rip it open.
Yeah.
But it's not as interesting,
yeah,
right?
They want to know the fast way.
They want to know when it's like buzzes open. So they're trying to figure it out, and the detective is talking with the ADA, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know how we can figure it out." And they're like pretty good at figuring that shit out. So then they look and they're like, "All right." So we were following this guy for a while, and every time we would watch him do, sell, he would always put his car in reverse. He was like, that's so weird. So they get in the car, they start putting it in reverse and everything. They figure it out. And again, it was like AC's on, car in reverse, in like this whole thing. And then right in the backseat, it's like drops open. So they go to trial, right? They do a view, which is when you take the whole jury out to like the police department to watch. They're explaining hides the whole day. And they're like, you're going to see one later. They go, the cop gets in, the detective does the whole thing, turns it on, puts the AC on, turns the radio on, puts it in reverse, and just in the back it goes, bzzz, opens up, and he goes, you audibly heard the jury go, and dude, you just look at the guy and he goes, fuck. Yeah. He just drops his head, and he was like, at that point, it's done.
Yeah. Those things are crazy. I know they had, he had another one made. It was a minivan, and they made this one where, they hollowed out the bottom of it. Yeah. It's almost like a false bottom. And it was like a quick, it wasn't too much rigged. It was just like hazards, the defrosters, the radio station, and then you hit the window button. And all it is, it's like kind of like a hydraulic peg that goes
Oh.
under. And then when it pulls back, you could take the screws out of the front seat and move it forward.
Oh, shit.
And then you put 10-pound sleeves. So you have 10 pounds, and then you put it in a long Ziploc bag, make a 10-pound sleeve, and then slide them in. So that was supposed to bring in 40 pounds in, but then he got busted like a couple weeks later. So they didn't really get to use it.
That's
like
fucking
that.
brilliant, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I used to always put shit in the little sunglasses case that flips down and shut that back up. But I feel like
same
they would have
thing.
founded me out pretty
No,
quick.
the best way, and I'm pretty sure this one still works, under the driving column.
Oh,
You
yeah.
reach under, you find a little space, especially if it's something small. That's how I used to, like, if I had like a 8-ball or something, I'd find a nice little nook in there,
Yeah.
jam it in there, and I drive because the cop never goes under there.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, the height is the most obvious thing of like dealing drugs because there's only one reason you put a $30,000 aftermarket hide into a $15,000 Honda Civic. You know,
It's not there for me who buys like fucking 20 grams of edibles every 2 years.
sir, it's weed. They're like, it's legal. What are you talking about?
I mean, there's smaller ones like where it just be like behind the radio and it like comes up,
Snaps
and stuff
open
like
or
that.
whatever.
Snaps open. I've seen one where it was the speaker cap, and you could only do it while it was parked. And while it was parked, it pops open, and then it has like a little compartment in there. You just snap it shut.
That's cool.
I remember my buddy who went to
Shit is
jail,
cool.
was in and out of jail a lot. He had just gotten out, and we were at this party together. Like, it was a small party. It was just dudes playing poker and shit. And he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run to Kogo's." It was a convenience store in Pittsburgh. I don't know if they have them anywhere else, but we hop in and we're driving to Kogo's, and I was like, "Yeah, what could go wrong?" I mean, he gets in trouble a lot. He was like a fucking just cop magnet, and we're driving, and he's driving back. He's like, "Oh shit, I forgot I had this," and goes under his seat and pulls out a bottle of E&J and just twists it open and starts drinking while he's driving. I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, you want some?" I was like, "Yeah, that's why I was saying what the fuck." He was like, I was like, you're fresh out. He's like, "Yeah, I don't care about this." Like, oh, okay.
They're looking for the big stuff.
Yeah.
They'll be thanking me if they pull me over and I only have this.
Well, he was the dude that when he got off the one time, I told you about this. He kept going. We were like, "Oh man, how was everything? Are you all right?" He was like, "No, prison was fun for real." I was like, "No, it wasn't." And he was like,
nice little vacation.
he was like, "I got in great shape," and he was fatter than I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
So I
that's
got in
great shape for
dude.
him.
I was doing push-ups all the time, and then my buddy's dad was there because it was some like softball game, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at that belly, still jiggling." Starts smacking his stomach and shit.
Eating ding dongs in there.
Was there anything about jail that was like relaxing?
No. I mean, maybe like, probably like at night. Like if you had a cell, when you were in an open dorm, it was never relaxing because it was just 60 people out in the open. But like maybe when I had my own cell and shit, and I was like, all right, I know I'm gonna get some peaceful sleep tonight.
Yeah.
But that was like the only time. Any other time,
That's
it's
gotta
like,
be tough too, like sharing a cell with someone.
yeah, they don't do that anymore. I used to
Oh,
do
really?
that in my younger bits, but they took that away because it's like inhumane to have two people in that square space.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. That
So
is
they
good.
they got rid of all that shit.
What's like the biggest thing that like my only fucking interaction with jail is my one buddy of hearing stories from him, and then like TV and movies and shit. Like, what's like the biggest like thing that they
Misconception?
get wrong? Yeah, like biggest misconception, bullshit,
About
stereotype.
jail, always did the rape stuff. You ever see the rape stuff? I've never been to prison, but even like a lot of people that I've met in jail who told me about prison saying that it's a myth. Like it's more consensual than people think.
Yeah,
Because there are
shit.
openly gay people out there. There's even trans. Like that, Jerry, Titi Jerry, Krista.
Oh yeah.
I heard about her before I even started comedy. Before I even
Really?
Yeah, before I even knew that like Chris was related to her. She was just known because people always talk about her. They're like, oh yeah, there's a girl named J-Lo, and like the guy, like one of the stories I heard was he walked into the shower and saw long hair, fat ass, and titties, and he walked out and he was like, yo, is there girls here? And they're like, oh no, that's just J-Lo. that's J-Lo. And they were like, and they're like, oh, don't get it twisted. She was, she'd shoot you in there. Like she'll cut you, stab you. Like she was really, she wasn't pussy.
Yeah.
She didn't have one either, but she wasn't pussy, didn't have one, but like she was like a jail legend.
God
Because
damn.
she was trans. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Trans
well.
is beautiful in jail.
Yeah.
Well, I
In
would,
and out of jail. I think that Titi Jerry, if you're ever watching this, you're beautiful. I'd fuck.
yeah.
I'd fuck.
Hey, why,
Just
me
because you're a
too.
legend. Just because you're a legend. No, but yeah, you know, she was very popular in jail, and I've heard about her like from multiple people. So when I came out and I saw Chris DeStefano like talking about her and stuff, I was like, is that the same one? And then when I heard the stories, I was like, oh shit, that's fucking J-Lo.
that's crazy,
The
dude.
infamous J-Lo.
That's nuts that she's
Yeah.
like dude.
She probably
be
had
a
an
legend.
awesome time in prison.
Yeah, I bet.
Probably
bet.
Blast. Yeah, it's like
I'm telling you, some of the funniest people are in jail.
it's probably like hedonism
Yeah.
for DT Jerry. You
Like
know?
Chris was like, talked to her. I was like, I have gold here. This is gold.
Oh, yeah.
You have a jail legend who's funny.
Dude, has there ever been? Do you ever hear about or see like with guards and inmates?
Yeah. When I worked in the kitchen, at one point there was this new civilian cook that came in. There was like this chubby redhead. You could tell does not get a lot of attention.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
world.
yeah.
So she was very flirty with us. You know what I mean? She let us grab her ass. You know, she let us get touchy with her, and she would let us use her phone too to like check our social media sometimes.
Oh, that's great,
She was the
dude.
best. Yeah, she wanted attention so bad. Like she was just like in heaven.
I kind of.
It's just like most girls that start comedy. When they come in, they're like, "Oh my god, I've never got this much attention." So that's what it was like for her. She was just getting swarmed by all the guys in the kitchen.
That's great. Hey, good for her. You know.
I got to grab a tit that wasn't my baby mother's in jail.
Oh hell yeah!
That was fun.
Did anybody fuck her? Anybody
No,
get her?
I know one of the guys made out with her in the freezer, but I was like, and my luck, I'd get caught. Like I was too pussy. Like he was brave. Like I remember one time we was out in the kitchen and he grabbed her to sit on her lap, and I remember it was like, I wanted to walk up and get away because I know it's nighttime, but all it took was one guard to see that shit, and it's a wrap. Me and him are both getting fucked up.
When you got out after the 2 years, what was like the first thing that you were like, I gotta go do this now?
Get some pussy.
It was?
Yeah. I told my baby mother, I was like, yo, you better come like pick me up naked. Like I told her, I was like, yo, put on a robe and be naked under it. She didn't do that. She's a cheating whore. But we did go home and we fucked. We went, that was like the first thing I did. And then I went to my mother's house, ate and just relaxed.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm so fat, dude. I was like, I
was thinking of what
feel
food
like
he was gonna go
Chick-fil-A.
get.
I'd be like Chick-fil-A, maybe.
Oh, food was definitely like, I was already daydreaming. I already had like the first thing I was getting buffalo wings. Like I just wanted like wings from out in the world, and I wanted like tacos and shit. I wanted Mexican food and wings. That was like the first thing I wanted.
Wings might be what I would want. I love wings,
Dude, I just like legit got depressed thinking about the fact that you went 2 years without having a buffalo wing.
No, I was eating buffalo wings in there, but I just wanted like
Not good ones.
no,
Or
I would
they-
no, because I was making them. We were making them.
Oh,
like,
you're
yeah,
making them.
Yeah, they would give us like a bag, and we could just make the sauces ourselves, and we had all the ingredients,
That's
so
good,
we cook
yeah.
it up. But like, I just wanted like just to, you know what I mean, just to have it made for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I just want some wings, like specific wings.
Is there a better nut than a fresh out of jail nut?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, that had to be like fucking. That had to
was
be like
done.
your first time over.
Yeah,
Again.
I think it was probably like 4 or 5 pumps, and I was done.
But that's hey, nobody's judging that.
I ate pussy right away. I was like, yo, I saw my baby mother. I was like, yo, get on your fucking back right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I now sit on my face, bitch. It's been 2 years. Yeah, dude, I was fucking sick, man. And then what fucked me up was like I found out like a week later she was seeing somebody else.
Oh, shit.
Dirty bitch. She ended up marrying him. She has a kid and shit, but he died 2020, right? Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But like during that time,
COVID?
in the thing I think it said COVID, but it was overdose.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, heart attack. I think they had coke in his heart. Yeah, bad
Damn.
heart. And like when I found out, like I was just like so heartbroken that like it just killed my confidence, right? So you know, I would always cheat on my baby mother, but like at that point, I was like, oh man, I lost her. I'll do anything for her. And I remember the first person I fucked after her was fucking hideous, man. Like she had man boobs, you know what I mean? Like she was just misshapen. She was ugly and didn't even have a body.
It was the redhead chick from the
No, she
kitchen.
would. That would have been a fucking way better. I would have been more proud of that one. But this one was just, like she was built like Miss Piggy, And I hated myself for it. And then I went a while without getting anything else. Like, and that's all you know when Chappelle thinks about like the last girl he was with and they show like the prom picture? That's what would go through my head when I'm like, yeah, I got to lower my standards. I got to lower my standards for a bit, work my way back up. And then I ended up relapsing. And then my family was just like, yo, man, you're doing this again. It's the same cycle. And they were just like, yo, you want to go down to Alabama? And I went down there. And I think about like the first year and a half, like I worked, you know, I had like a regular 9-to-5 job, got my apartment. And then my cousin had mentioned comedy. And I was just like, oh, fuck it, let's do it. And then I started down there in 2018. And then after like a year and a half, I was like, all right, fuck it, I have something to come back to New York. I have like a purpose, something that could keep me out of trouble for a bit. And then been back ever since. Thank God I came a year before the pandemic because that would have sucked.
That would have sucked.
Like, that was the original plan to come back 2020. I was going down there for 4 years. I'm like, that's a perfect amount of time to, you know, get that shit out of my system for good. And then my daughter was just like not having it. So I was just like, all right, I made it a year early and fucking pandemic happens a year later. So I got to witness old New York, just the open mic scene, but I got to witness the old New York open mic scene before it became what it is now.
I got 6 months of it. That's where I met you going to like QED open mics and shit.
Creek in the Cave, back. They still do QED, but you know, the Creek in the Cave not being around is a travesty, man. Yeah. You could do like 4 mics in one day without leaving.
Yeah. And like everybody was there. It was like where you went at the end of the night.
Friday nights was the best. Like everybody was there. I think it was Pat Barry and Veronica. I can't forget her.
Yeah.
Something with an R, Rakazi, something like that.
Dude, I only got 3 months of that, and it was still like, I'm so glad that I at least got a little bit. I moved January 2020, and then
I remember
end of March
getting hammered on that little patio, and then they'd make me come in because
that outside thing,
was talking too loud. It was too late.
Yeah,
well, you gotta go back inside.
Oh yeah, so many great memories at the Creek. There was so many mics that just. It was funny seeing like the gatekeepers like change like almost like twice because it from pre-pandemic to pandemic. Like the outdoor, there was like those gatekeepers. All the outdoor rooftop shows.
Yeah.
And then when the clubs came back opening up and all the like the venues, then it just switched up again. Yeah. Where some of the old people came back or some of the outdoor people started moving into the indoor stuff. And it was just like, this is fucking insane. Just within 2-3 years, just see like the scene switch over like 3 times.
Yeah. It is wild. It's changed so much. But dude, we're over an hour, dude. That flew by. Yeah. I know you got to go too.
We got to have you back, man.
Yeah, that was great,
definitely
man.
Come back.
Thank you.
I'll definitely come back.
Tell them where they can find you, anything you have coming up. I think this is going to be out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let's see. Obviously Instagram, Geo Perez 86, GIOGEO. It comes up either way. We have a show at the Stand, 23-1. The next one is May 23rd. I don't know if that's going to be out. Come to that. Besides that, I don't got a lot of shit going on. But subscribe to our Patreon, On the Gate Podcast. We have that thing going. We just started putting out new episodes and shit, so check that out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Check out Geo for sure, and definitely want to have him back. I am at Ray B Killing Him on all social media. Obviously, you could catch me here every single Wednesday on the Troublemakers with Dylan Krasinski. Where can I find you?
Yeah, dude. At Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and at Troublemakers on all those social media sites. We post 4, 5, 6 clips a week. Check it out. Go follow Geo. Listen to the pod. We'll see you next week, baby. Good night.
Bye.
Peace.